This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Sewer Utility District Commission of May 11th to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Strelchek?
Here.
Commissioner Bushy?
Here.
Commissioner Meyer?
Here.
Commissioner Hansher?
Here.
Commissioner Gerald?
Here.
Commissioner Parrish?
Here.
Commissioner Schneider?
Here.
Commissioner Nurbin?
Here.
Commissioner Worth?
Here. The first item of business is the approval of the minutes from February 9, 2021. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
I heard a motion and a second. Make sure your microphone's closer, Dale. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 The next item on the agenda is Resolution 3842. This is a policy revision to the city's inflow and infiltration reduction program, and it authorizes the staff to enter in a funding agreement with the sewage district. I don't know if there's a staff person on the electronically
Yes.
who will give us a short description of what's going on here, please.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. This is Deputy Director of Utilities, Kevin Driscoll. As you are aware, the City of Mequon has entered into agreements with the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District to reduce inflow and infiltration from entering the sanitary sewer system. The goal of this work is to reduce overflows. The city established a policy in 2015, and that was before my time here. And it was about the same time when the state prohibited Clearwater compliance inspections at the time of sale, which was the previous practice in Mequon. This policy, the city policy, was amended in 2020 to allow grouting in addition to lining. And staff presents additional proposed revisions tonight to maximize participation and to request authorization to enter into another funding agreement. Staff introduces these proposed revisions to the policy to maximize participation in this voluntary program. These revisions can generally be described in 4 sections as outlined in the staff memo, including inspections, performance measures, rehabilitation methods, and financial incentives, along with a few clerical updates. The most significant revision is related to sump pumps and is in response to a number of property owners within the priority areas that have withdrawn from the voluntary program or declined to participate due to concern of incurring costs, such as installing a sump pump. However, the new 2020-2030 MMSD policy allows sump pumps as an eligible expense. In fact, it is the first item listed in their policy for reimbursement through this program to reduce inflow from private property sources. So in summary, thank you for your attention. The city's participation in this program has been pretty good. We're 285 of 355 eligible in priority areas, or about 80% have signed up for these projects in 2017 and 2020. However, 0 sump pumps or downspout work was required up until this point to address inflow. In the meantime, staff recognizes that inflows continue in these priority areas. For example, in May of 2020, following a 3-inch rain, there was 2 lift stations, one at Riverdale Park and one at Riverland Drive. The base flow went from 300,000 gallons a day to 1.3 million gallons, over 2.5 times the base flow. In addition, at Riverland Drive, it went from 50,000 gallons to 375,000 gallons per day. That's 7.5 times the base flow. So This proposed revision is intended for consistency with the goals of maximizing participation and reducing inflows that otherwise lead to sewer overflows. With that, I staff is requesting authorization for a funding agreement with the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District to reduce clear water inflow and infiltration from entering into the city's sanitary collection system.
Thank you, Mr. Driscoll. Are there
You're welcome.
questions of Mr. Driscoll? Hearing none, is there a motion? Recommend this to the council.
Move to recommend to the council.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Really would ask, and can people hear me okay on people who are appearing virtually? And can you hear
Yes.
Alderman Kerr and Alderman Nurbin? Alderman Nurbin, say something, please.
Test.
Can you hear him?
So far, so good.
Okay, and Alderman Meyer?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Quiet, but yes.
Okay. It just didn't sound like they were getting picked up by the microphone. I wanted to make sure that we were covering that. So, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of recommending this to the council, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution 3843, a resolution awarding a contract to R.A. Smith for sewer sanitary project inspection services. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Schneider, a second by, maybe it was Alderman Hancher. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 The next item is Resolution 3844, and this is to award a contract for sanitary sewer rehabilitation work. Is there a motion to recommend this to the council?
So moved.
Second.
By Alderman Parrish and second by Alderman Boucher, I believe. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 And finally, Resolution 3845, and this is to award a contract for replacement of a sanitary sewer main in County Line Road. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Alderman's, well, whoever. Alderman's, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Do we have a motion to adjourn the Sewer Utility District Commission meeting?
So
Move
moved.
to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Or do we need any sort of break for the Common Council, or can we go right into it? I would like to call the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, May 11th, 2021 to order. Before we do the pledge, this is new territory, having a virtual meeting, the first we've had as a city. If anybody is watching this, please bear with us as we try to navigate our way through trying to do this with some people at home and some people here. But the four general rules that we've had throughout our virtual meeting period still apply. First, please keep your microphone muted unless you're speaking. Second, please don't talk over each other. Third, if you are going to speak and I haven't said your name, please say your name before speaking so people who may be listening in can hear it. And good grief, I've been doing this for 14 months and I can't remember the fourth one. Oh, and the fourth one is we do encourage public participation. If people come to City Hall, and certainly the public has the right to do that, they don't need to register in advance. But people who are going to appear virtually, other than applicants, for example, if they're called on, need to register in advance, and we encourage people to do that. So that being said, if we could all rise, and Alderman Girl, if you'd lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. For anybody not watching, the three members of the council who are here this evening are Alderman Meyer, Alderman Durbin, myself. Others have opted to appear electronically, and we do have some staff members who are also here at City Hall. And this will be the format that we use going forward until the council decides to do something different. At some point, we're going to return to both the council and the planning commission to all in-person meetings once we're comfortable that people should feel comfortable with it. We have 3 public hearings tonight. We've kind of gotten into a routine of voting on each one after the public hearing, since nobody has registered. Excuse me? I skipped the minutes?
I'm sorry, Mayor, can we do the roll call?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Please call the roll.
Okay. Alderman Strelchak?
Here?
Alderman Bushy?
Here.
Alderman Meyer?
Here.
Alderman Hansher?
Here.
Alderman Garrell?
Here.
Alderman Parrish?
Here.
Alderman Schneider?
Here.
Alderman Nurbin?
Here.
And Mayor Worth.
Here. We have a quorum and everyone's here. Thank you, Clerk, for reminding me. We have 3 public hearings this evening. Nobody registered to speak at any of them, Mr. Sheneman, is that correct?
Yes,
So
correct.
Instead of taking one public hearing and then voting on it and going to the next one, we'll do it in the order the agenda suggests, and we'll go through all 3. The first public hearing, ordinance 2021-1587. This is to change the zoning code to add micro distilleries and micro wineries to the list of conditional uses in the town center. This has been recommended by the Planning Commission on March 22nd. It had its first reading on April 13th. The Public Welfare Committee, I believe, addressed this evening. And Alderman Garrell, I believe you're now the chair of the Public Welfare Committee. And what did the Public Welfare Committee do with this?
We voted unanimously to approve.
We have a recommendation from the Public Welfare Committee. Is there a motion to go into public hearing?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
We're in public hearing. There is nobody here to speak, so do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close. Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 The next public hearing is ordinance 2021-1588. This is an amendment to the zoning code to add outdoor power equipment stores to the list of conditional uses in the B5 zoning district. This is recommended by the Planning Commission on March 22nd. It had a first reading at the council on April 13th. And Public Welfare, if you don't mind, Alderman Garrell, I heard it, recommends this to you this evening by a unanimous vote. Do we have a motion to go into public hearing?
Move to go into public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of going into the public hearing, please say aye.
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 And we're in public hearing, and no one is here to speak on this item, so do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moves.
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor, please say aye.
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 The next item on the agenda, another public hearing, is ordinance 2021-1589. This is to amend the planned unit development for the property located at 10448 North Port Washington Road. This was recommended by the Planning Commission on March 22nd. It had a first reading at the Common Council on April 13th. Is there a motion to go into public hearing?
Move to go into public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
We're in a public hearing. Nobody's here to speak on it, so do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of closing the public hearing, please say aye.
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 And that, we took care of that legal requirement. Now we'll get into substance. The first ordinance is the 2021-1587, and this is the micro distilleries and micro wineries ordinance. I don't need to read it all because I just read it all. Is there a motion to approve?
Move
Move to
approval.
approve.
We have a motion and a
Second.
second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance 2021-1588, please mute your telephone, please. Ordinance 2021-1588, this is to amend the zoning code to add outdoor power equipment to the list of conditional uses in B5. I won't read all the approvals, but it's been recommended. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Alderman Meyer.
Just a little note, it's a nice addition here on that, keeping a Mequon long-time business here and allowing them to grow in another area. So I think this is a great addition to the ordinance.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. And finally, or no, not finally, we have two more. Ordinance 2021-1589. This is amending the planned unit development for the property at 10448 Northport Washington Road. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion and a
Second.
second. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, please, all in favor, please say aye. I'm sorry, excuse me. Oh, that's right. Excuse me? Yeah, why don't you step forward to the microphone, please? So we have, this is Assistant Community Development Director, Jack Zader.
Yes, I just want to make one correction to the ordinance. The proposed FAR states in the code it's 73%. Based on some mathematical errors from the developer that they caught recently, that actually is 78%. So that's the only change I wanted to make.
Okay. I would note that the configuration of the building hasn't changed. The open space hasn't changed. It's mostly because it's a two-story building, which changes the FAR. Any further, any discussion on this item? Did we have a motion? We did. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Kelly. And then ordinance 2021-1590. This is to amend section 14-256 of the Mequon Municipal Code relating to the sale of intoxicating liquor for off-premise consumption. Is there non-intoxicating liquor? But anyhow, this was recommended by the Finance Personnel Committee on April 13th. It had a first reading at the Common Council on April 13th. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Or is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Only question.
Alderman Meyer.
Yeah, my only question is there a standard approved, non-tamperable type of container? Or is that just up to the discretion of the bar owner or the restaurant owner?
Okay, well, the city attorney, Brian Sajak, who is here with us this evening, but not at the dais, because we are social distancing. Mr. Zajac.
Yeah, so according to the Department of Revenue, who's the body that kind of regulates all of these things,
Sorry, is the
there's
mic
nothing
on?
that is
I'm
specifically
sorry, I can't hear
approved.
you. Is the mic on?
Yeah, can you bring the mic closer to you also, please?
There's nothing particularly approved, but they do have some recommendations in terms of items that they can and can't use. So, but they don't mandate any particular type.
But they do mandate that it has to be sealed, and it's not just put some Scotch tape on it.
Correct.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. The next item on our agenda is public officials' reports. I've got a couple of things. People may be interested to know, this is the mayor's report, that the two houses immediately south of the Isham Day House are scheduled to be demolished and are that's supposed to be completed before Memorial Day. So by May 28th is the contractual date that those should be torn down. So if you're coming for the annual Memorial Day observation on May 31st, you should have a better view of the river. I'd also like to add that the American Legion Post will be having its annual observation of Memorial Day in front of City Hall on May 31st, starting at 11 o'clock. There will not be a parade this year. The Legion Post opted to wait another year before having the parade, but it will be having the Homestead Band, an honor guard, and some brief observations by various officials there. And I encourage the public to come and remember the people who have lost their lives so that we can have the freedoms we all enjoy. I would also note that just one second. Rotary Park's parking lot is being reconstructed as we speak, and that is supposed to be completed by Friday. I think for summer activities and for family gatherings and what have you, that will be a nice addition to the city. I'd also warn people this will be a summer of orange barrels. The city is undertaking a lot of road reconstruction and road repairs and crack sealing and what have you. So please give our city workers a break and make sure you move over when you see work being done. It will be a year where there's a lot more of those barrels than we perhaps have gotten used to over the last few years. Not only that, but Cedarburg Road is supposed to be done yet this year, and some of the work on I-43 is some of the work will start this year, and people will be gathering for I-43. Finally, I'd like to recognize one citizen, Joan Vickerman Ravenscroft, had her 100th birthday this last week. Miss Ravenscroft Vickerman was a mayoral candidate, I don't know exactly how long ago, but like 25 years ago. She is the former owner of the Port Zedler Motel, and a real pleasure to talk to and deal with. At 100 years old, she's still smarter than most of us, although she doesn't get around as well as she used to. If you run into her, please wish her a happy birthday and a happy 100 years. She's been a fine contributor to all sorts of organizations in this community over the years. That will complete my report. Mr. Jones, as our city administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report this evening.
I hope I didn't steal your thunder on a couple of things. I did, didn't I?
Not at all.
All right. The next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. We have, I believe, 12 sets of minutes to approve. Do we have a motion to approve items A through L?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the A through L on the consent agenda, please say aye.
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 The next item, we have 2 first readings this evening. They won't be acted upon this evening, but it gives an opportunity for the public to know what, ordinances that we will be addressing presumably next month. The first reading is ordinance 2021-1591. This is a rather comprehensive recodification of the residential zoning sections on our zoning code. It addresses certain conditional uses. It adds some conservation subdivision requirements in the R1 district, and it has some modifications to definitions and other items. This was recommended by the Planning Commission Policy Subcommittee on March 8th. It was recommended by the Planning Commission on May 3rd. The Public Welfare Committee addressed it this evening, but didn't come to a recommendation yet, and it will go back to the Public Welfare Committee next month. And this is a first reading. The next first reading is ordinance 2021-1592. This is an ordinance amending section 50-100 of the Mequon Code relating to sex offender residency restrictions and child safety zones. and it will establish a sex offender residency appeal board. This was at the Public Safety Committee this evening. I believe Alderman Nurbin is the chair of the Public Safety Committee. What did the Public Safety Committee do with this item?
The committee unanimously recommended this to the council with one modification, that the review board function be handled by our existing appeals board and not a new board that's set up specifically for this topic.
All right, could people hear Alderman Nurbin? Because I had trouble hearing you, but this is a first reading. We're now into the resolutions on our agenda. The first resolution is Resolution 3838. This authorizes a professional service agreement for completion of an information technology assessment and strategic plan with Avero Advisors out of Maryville, Tennessee. The Finance Personnel Committee recommended this item unanimously this evening. I'd like to acknowledge, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to pronounce your name correctly, AV, Abhijit Virakar. Am I close?
That's close, Mayor. Just say every letter.
Thank you. From Avero, who's with us this evening, does anyone have any questions, or is there a motion to approve? I also noticed Mr. Hayes is with Avero and online.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
I heard a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions, comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, who am I missing?
Me.
Ah,
Glenn.
Alderman Boucher. Yeah, speak up, because it's not as easy to follow the looking both
Yes.
directions.
I just want to add, as I added before, it was very enjoyable to meet with everyone from Avero during the interview process, and I wholeheartedly recommend them and look forward to their suggestions and our implementing them.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for AV or staff on this item? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Strelchuk,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
and Alderman Nurbin.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Welcome, and we look forward to having the city work with you and hear your recommendations. The next item
Likewise,
on the
Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. The next item on the agenda, Resolution 3839. This is a resolution authorizing a development agreement with Blue Ribbon Self-Storage for a tax incremental District Number 5 development incentive under our Fast Track program in the amount of $462,000 for the property at 10448 Northport Washington Road. This was recommended by the Economic Development Board on April 27th, and the Finance Personnel Committee recommended it unanimously this evening. Would anybody like a brief presentation on this? Hearing none, does anybody have any questions for staff? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Move to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none,
Mayor?
please. I heard somebody talk. Alderman Parrish.
That's me. Good evening, everyone. This developer was a pleasure to work with. I was pleased they modified their hours. I know we're talking about the TIF right now, but I just wanted to commend the developer. I do look forward to working with the Economic Development Board on our TIF formulas and ensuring that the TIF is structured in a way that the community gets what it's hoping for with its TIF dollars. And this is a great development. It happened to be an interesting structure, the way that it was a lower assessment with the building and then higher land value. It was actually appropriately assessed, but just in a way that maximized TIF dollars for the developer. So they totally earned it the fair and square way. I'm totally in supportive of it. With that said, I look forward, moving forward, to working with the Economic Development Board to perhaps achieve a different result with other projects moving forward with our TIF dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Nurbin, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, as long as we're having a little bit of discussion on this item. I think it's important for the public to know where we're talking about. This is the somewhat undesirable looking yellow warehouse building on Port Washington Road, and when this project is completed, people will notice a remarkable improvement in the aesthetics of that structure, and I think it'll be a welcome facelift to that part of Port Washington Road, and hopefully some local residents can get some use out of the storage facility that'll be put in there.
Well, I would also add then, just so the public or anybody listening to this understands, these are pay-as-you-go TIF bonds, or TIF incentives. The developer doesn't get the money unless they do the project. They don't get the money unless they pay their annual tax bill. They don't get their money unless they hit the required incremental value. So the city isn't at risk here, but the city's taking a property that was very difficult and probably would not have been rehabilitated but for the tax incremental district, and we'll end up with a tax-paying project for years to come that is much more attractive on North Port Washington Road. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nurbin,
Aye.
and Alderman Strelchuk.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Resolution 3840, this is a resolution appointing Marie Kaiser to the position of Acting Finance Director, City Treasurer. The Finance Personnel Committee unanimously recommends this to the Common Council. I'd like to thank Ms. Krieger for her service to the city, and also, assuming that this is approved, which I have every confidence it will be, thank Ms. Kaiser for stepping forward to help us bridge the gap until we have a permanent replacement. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? I knew there wouldn't be. Again, thank you, Caitlin, and Marie, good luck. The next item, Resolution 3846, a resolution terminating the City of Mequon's declared public health emergency in response to COVID-19. Alderman Girl, as the chair of the Public Welfare Committee, what did you do with this evening?
We passed it unanimously. There is a couple reservations, but just on urging people to take the vaccine, but we passed it unanimously.
It's recommended to the council. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Move approval.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. Oh, Alderman Parrish.
Yeah, just in case anyone else wants to chime in after me, I agree with the committee. I was pleased to learn that the pools and parks standard operating procedures will still be in place. So I think where areas of the public will interact with each other, we still have some good procedures in place, and I think we've handled everything really well throughout the pandemic. Talked to Will today. Just to me, what was most important is that our staff feels safe, and as far as he knows, I think they do. And if anyone resurfaces and doesn't, I encourage, we'll work with any staff members to ensure that they feel comfortable. So thank you for vetting this out at the committee level.
I guess I have a question that your comment raises, Mr. Zajac, or unless it's another staff member who'd be appropriate to ask the question. The resolution that implemented the park regulations, doesn't that terminate upon the termination of the declared public emergency?
I believe that it did. I'd have to pull it up to confirm that, and I'm trying to do that as we speak.
How about if we move to the next item, ask the city attorney to take a look at that, because I don't want to vote on something under false pretenses. Alderman Parrish is under the understanding that those regulations would survive this. I'm not sure that they do, and I'd rather that we're certain before we vote. Does anybody object if we go to the next item and then come back to this? I take that as
Is it a proper procedure to table this and take it back up, or?
well, I think I can do that.
Okay.
Anybody object? If you want to have a formal motion, we will.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. We'll go to Resolution 3841. This is a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Department of Transportation to purchase a temporary limited easement at Catherine Kearney Park for the I-43 North-South Freeway project. Public Works, what did you do with this evening?
Public Works passed this unanimously, and so we do recommend approval of the common council. Make a motion to approve.
And there's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Brian, do you need a couple more minutes? We'll take the next item. Resolution 3842. This is a resolution approving a policy revision to the City of Mequon's inflow and infiltration reduction program and authorizing a funding agreement with MMSD. This was recommended earlier this evening by the Sewer Utility District Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nurbin,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
and Alderman Bushy.
Aye.
That passes, and I see the city attorney nodding his head that he has found the appropriate resolution. What can you tell us?
So the resolution, just as
Just a
simply
minute,
says that
can
it'll
people hear
terminate.
Brian?
Oh, go ahead.
Nod your head if you're on you can, okay. I'm concerned about, speak up a little so we can hear also.
So the resolution just says that it'll terminate in accordance with the standard operating procedures that were adopted. Those procedures, by their terms, terminate when the case status set by Ozaukee Washington County Health Department reaches a low status as opposed to its current high status.
Okay, so my recollection was wrong, and that's good. I just wanted to make sure we were all clear on that, so that something didn't happen that I didn't expect to happen. Alderman Meyer.
That poses a question then. Do we regularly check to see what those standards are then for the Ozaukee, or are they going to inform us, or are we checking with it?
That's a question directed to Ms. Lundeen. And I see your hand raised.
We check every day.
All right.
That answers my question?
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments about this resolution to terminate the declaration? Alderman Meyer, you raised a question out in the hallway.
I did raise a question. If we pass this, then that, in reading here, does terminate all space usage and mass requirements in the city public buildings.
Okay, so that answers your question.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't encourage people to continue if they feel, if they
feel
prefer
comfortable
to.
wearing it. Yeah.
Anything else? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Where did we leave off? The next item is Resolution 3843, a resolution awarding a contract to R.A. Smith for sanitary sewer project inspection services. The Sewer Utility District Commission earlier this evening recommended this to the council. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
I heard a motion and a second. I'm assuming there's no comment because we went over this in the commission. Please call the roll.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nerben,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
and Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
And that passes. The next item, Resolution 3844. This is to award a contract for sanitary sewer rehabilitation work in various locations around the city. This was recommended by the Sewer Utility District Commission earlier this evening. Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nerben,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
and Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
And that passes. Our final resolution of the evening, Resolution 3845. This is to award a contract for a replacement of a sanitary force main in County Line Road. This was recommended by the Sewer Utility District Commission earlier this evening. Is there a motion to approve?
So
Move
moved.
to approve.
I heard a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nerben,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
and Alderman Garrell.
Aye.
And that passes. We do have three recommended mayoral appointments this evening. Is there a motion to approve the three appointments?
So
Move
moved.
to approve the mayoral appointments.
I heard a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 And we have one final potential agenda item, and that's a potential closed session. I will read the required magic language, and then we'll vote on it. This is a potential closed session regarding the Lakes of Vilda Park Condominium Association, Inc. versus the City of Mequon, and it's for settlement strategy. The Common Council may convene in a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes, Section 1985 1G, for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel, was rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the council with respect to litigation in which it is involved, and then re-enter open session to take such action as it deems appropriate. I don't believe we will be re-entering to take any action this evening unless the city attorney shakes his head the other direction. So, do we have a motion to go into closed session?
Move to go into closed session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nerben,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrell,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
and Mayor Worth.
Aye. And somebody's dog is also in favor of it. I'm just kidding. We will go into closed session. We will not be coming back into open session.